Now at 9, a Down syndrome group of the Ozarks gets a visit from some very special visitors ahead of Christmas. Plus, a local Christmas tree farm in Webb City hosts cookies and photos with Santa Claus. Swifties, Joplin locals celebrate a Taylor Swift-themed Christmas party.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy. Kiddos in Webb City had the chance to visit with Santa Claus and a few other familiar faces today at a Santa's workshop hosted by Down syndrome group of the Ozarks. KOAM's Jasmine Knight was there and has more.
Santa made a special visit this holiday season to the Red Door Barn in Webb City, Missouri for a workshop with families from the Down syndrome group of the Ozarks. Santa's workshop featured nothing but smiles. Kids of all ages with Down syndrome enjoyed seeing their favorite characters and taking part in holiday activities.
All of our volunteers that are in character do such a great job of embracing those characters and really bring to life the spirit of Christmas.
Down syndrome, the most common chromosomal condition, affects 1 in every 700 babies.
Yeah, our kids face so much, our families face a lot, and so we look for ways, in addition to providing resources and coming alongside them, we look for ways to just make, some magical experiences, some fun events that kids can come out and just have a good time.
Mine is enjoying the families that come here and being able to see the excitement on the family's face, and especially when they see Santa Claus.
The Down syndrome group of the Ozarks was started in 2006. Their mission is to create an extensive network of support for individuals with Down syndrome and those who love and serve them in Southwest Missouri.
So coming up in 2024, we're looking to launch our life groups, which will be age-appropriate groups for families to meet other families in the area, connect, resource each other. So that's kind of what we're looking to do, as well as some of our other events throughout the year.
Today, the Santa workshop made each child smile. It was definitely an event that they will remember for years to come. Reporting in Webb City, Jasmine Knight, KOAM News.
Around 30 kids attended today's Santa's workshop, and the Down syndrome group of the Ozarks is hoping to host more events in the 4-state area this coming year. Some Swifties celebrated the holiday season today with a Taylor Swift-themed Christmas party at the living room in Joplin. Attendees enjoyed food, drinks, and games while listening to some of their favorite Taylor Swift songs in their Eras Tour outfits.
It's our first annual Swiftmas party for Taylor Swift. So we are doing giveaways, we are doing Taylor Swift bingo, we are doing Taylor Swift sing-alongs. And we're just really excited about Taylor Swift. We have some Travis Kelce swag for the prizes.
The living room was also taking donations of cat food and treats for local animal shelters. Meteorologist Katie Fraser joins us with a first look at weather.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday out there to you. It was a cool day across the 4 states, but we're expecting quiet weather over the next several days. Breezy conditions are also expected at least through the next several hours through the early morning. We'll also have above average temperatures for the rest of this week and low chances of rain. Taking a look at downtown Joplin, it is another cool, quiet night across the city, and our temperatures are anywhere in the mid 30s to upper 30s for some locations. Neosho at 36 right now, Joplin at 35, Miami at 34 right now, and Parsons at 31. We are expecting a cool night in store. Here's what we saw though so far today. Temperatures were in the mid 40s, a couple degrees below average for us across the 4 states. Lows were also a couple degrees below average. For this upcoming week, we are expecting above average temperatures. I'll let you know just how warm coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Katie. Lovers of cookies and dinosaurs gathered today at Sutherland's in Neosho, Missouri for some prehistoric fun. Attendees were able to check out some of their favorite lifelike animatronic dinosaurs, including a T-Rex, Triceratops, Spinosaurus, and several raptors while enjoying some sweets from I Heart Cookies.
Seeing them having things to do, it's something that's going to stimulate their brains and their minds and help them, get out of the monotony of every day and come out and have fun and a blast. And overall, I'm as an adult, I get to, sell cookies and play with dinosaurs. So to me, there's no better way to go. So
the event also included dinosaur rides and fossil digs. Bridgestone Christmas Tree Farm held a Pictures with Santa event open to families and pets. Though it's not the first year for family photos, this is the first time they're allowing pets to the photo shoot. Guests could also decorate their own sugar cookies and enjoy hot chocolate.
Don't know where my wife came up with the idea, but seems like today's day and age, a lot of people are invested in their pets. So we wanted to find a way to include that pet in the normal Christmas tradition that's out there.
Today was the last day the farm will be open for this holiday season. A Springfield church is remembering those we've lost to violent crime. Joe Hickman visited the University Heights Baptist Church, where the lawn ornaments are different than the Christmas decorations you'd expect to see this time of year.
You expect to see decorations during Christmas time, many of them evoking the reason for the season. But at the University Heights Baptist Church on National Avenue next to Missouri State, you'll find a different kind of message. 23 crosses on the lawn in front of the chapel, representing the name of someone who has died by homicide this year in Greene and Christian counties.
Each one of those crosses represents a life, somebody who had a family.
There are so many senseless deaths that are taking place, and this is a way to speak out to that.
As people drive past it, I hope that it makes us realize the people that have died this last year and how we might be able to support and care for those families that are hurting and to support and pray for the peace of our city.
The amount of gun violence in Springfield has been a major concern during a year where there have been 18 homicides in the city, including 3 in 5 days during November. As Springfield Police Chief Paul Williams told the City Council,
"Is there a concern about an element in our society that hadn't been there in the past that is growing?" Absolutely.
And people who used to feel safe in their neighborhoods,
this used to be a gorgeous place,
are now seeing more violent crime in their streets.
I heard probably 7 shots. Bang, 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 bang. I think my car got hit.
The loss of life has happened downtown, in the parking lot of a grocery store, and in rural areas. And nationally, a pair of shootings in Texas and Washington over the weekend marked the 37th and 38th shootings of the year, in which 4 or more victims were killed. A new record for the U.S. with 203 people murdered. There have been 627 mass shootings nationwide, in which 4 more people were either injured or killed.
The reality is that it's a real part of our lives and it's around us every single day.
I've been here for many, many years, and it's just very, very discouraging.
And as for how the violence affects the perception of Springfield?
And it still, I think, has a small town feel to it, but it certainly has big city issues.
Yes, I'm sorry to say, but it is.
Later, the holidays are helping prop up the U.S. economy, but is it enough? We'll take a look. Seasonal flu cases continue to rise across most of the country. Health experts say getting a flu shot is the best way to protect against severe illness, and in the future, you may not have to roll up your sleeve every year to get it. Mandy Gaither has more on where we stand when it comes to a universal flu shot and what the latest research means for the future of other vaccines as well.
Excuse me.
It's been a long time coming, but research into a universal flu shot is inching forward.
We're now ready to test the vaccine in people to see if we get the same responses as we got in our animal models.
Ted Ross is Global Director of Vaccine Development at Cleveland Clinic. His program is trying to make a flu vaccine that won't have to be manufactured each year. It will protect against all strains of the virus.
You wouldn't have to wait for a particular season. And as long as we have long-lived immunity, then we would be protected this year, the next year, the year after without having to get a booster shot.
Ross hopes it would encourage more people to get vaccinated, but the virus wouldn't go away completely. He says that since it's present in animals as well, the vaccine would have to be updated every once in a while.
We've now done all our preclinical testing, and we're in the manufacturing stage of our vaccines to do a human trial in 2024 and in 2025.
So far this season, there have been at least 1.8 million illnesses, 17,000 hospitalizations, and more than 1,000 deaths from flu. Ross says a universal flu vaccine is likely still about 5 years or less away, but the new technology his team is using could also be useful in work on other viruses like COVID, too.
It will actually be able to make the vaccine more effective, long-lasting, and reduce the number of vaccinations people need to get over their lifetime.
Katie is next, the complete look at the forecast. And later, we'll take a look at how financial worries are impacting New Year's resolutions.
Good evening, everyone. We are just 2 weeks away from Christmas when little Saint Nick is going to make his way to the 4 states. So tonight I'm going to try and get you a little bit more in the holiday spirit if you haven't been already. Maybe you are going to be baking cookies tonight. Temperatures chilly out there, so of course you're going to be baking inside, but if you're going to step outside, just know temperatures will be right around freezing over the next several hours. Today was not very breezy, which I'm sure many of us can appreciate with the cool temperatures, but overnight tonight, especially in our northern region, we can see a bit of gustier winds over the next several hours. So by midnight, all the way through the overnight hours, you could see Yates Center, Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada as well can all see gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Once again, 20 is really nothing to worry about, but just letting you know. So if you hear a little bit of noise, that's probably the wind for you folks up north. The rest of us, we are not really expecting any gusty winds for the overnight hours. Now, tomorrow morning, some of us could be a little bit breezy, but overall, tomorrow morning will be the only windy time. And then throughout the rest of your day tomorrow, we are expecting mostly calmer conditions across the 4 states. As you can see through the 5 o'clock hour dinner time, winds less than 10 miles per hour across the entire region. Now, what about our rain chances? We are still looking very dry across the 4 states over the next several days. This is looking at early tomorrow morning, temperatures in the 30s, winds out of the south. And it's going to be cool and clear out there as we move throughout the day. Just after lunchtime, temperatures warmer than they have been today, in the 50s for us tomorrow around lunchtime, even going into the low to mid 50s tomorrow for your forecast highs. And then dinner time looking clear once again. So we're really not looking at anything disturbing to our weather over the next several days. So I'm going to make this a little more interesting for you today. If you are thinking about doing grocery shopping tomorrow, what's in season? Broccoli and potatoes are. So if you're thinking about making any recipes this week, maybe include roasted broccoli or loaded baked potatoes in your week's menu. Now back to work tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the 50s, as I mentioned. Gusts in the morning. It should clear out by tomorrow evening, and we'll have a few clouds, especially later on throughout the day. But here's what you can expect for your next several days. Really not much. Temperatures in the mid-50s, even upper 50s for Thursday. Wednesday and Friday will be your only chances of rain for the upcoming week, and they are low at that. Of course, we'll let you know what we think about that as well. And then as we look past this upcoming weekend, temperatures are going to stay in the 50s, which is above average all week long.
All right, thanks, Katie. Well, as temperatures drop, some unwanted guests could try to get into your home to stay warm. Nick Kelly breaks down the bugs to watch out for and some steps you can take to keep them out.
Late October brought a hard freeze to the Ozarks, leading us to turn on the heat in order to keep warm. While that freeze may have put a halt to some pests for the winter, others are looking for that same warmth inside our homes. While the freeze put a halt to the mosquitoes this season, pest control companies are staying busy with calls for house and field mice, German cockroaches, and cave crickets. Those are just some pests that stay active all year. With the holidays approaching, experts say avoid leaving food out too long and properly store any leftovers. You can still call the professionals if you want, since their treatments are effective all year long. But you can also take care of any bugs you see inside your home yourself. Just close off any outside points of entry.
Some silicone caulk around those entry points, maybe where your natural gas line comes into the house, there's a little gap around there, caulk that. Where your air conditioner lines come in, things like that. If you can physically exclude the bugs so they just simply cannot get inside, that's good.
Another great tip, check your windows and doors. Exterior caulking around the window frames can keep the bugs from coming in that way. As far as your door, new weather stripping around the door and a draft and dust blocker at the bottom can help keep the bugs out and the warmth inside.
Coming up, an economic boost.
New economic data out Friday shows people are still buying, powered in part by holiday shopping. But who's buying more, women or men? I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have the details coming up.
With Hanukkah here and Christmas on the way, shoppers are out in full force. Strong holiday sales so far this season seem to prop up the president's claim that the economy is in fine shape. And while the most recent job numbers bolster his case, some economists still aren't convinced. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively has more from Washington.
So you got this one for yourself, this one's for your mom.
Mom isn't the only one getting a present. Economic numbers out Friday are a welcome surprise for the Biden administration, beating industry estimates.
The story today is 199,000 jobs added last month. Also, the lowest levels of unemployment for the longest period of time since Diana Ross was at the top of the charts.
Unemployment dipped from 3.9% to 3.7% in November, continuing a nearly two-year streak of the jobless rate coming in under 4%, the longest run since the late 1960s. That's thanks in part to 40,000 striking auto workers and actors leaving the picket line and heading back to work. The Federal Reserve is watching the data closely, still trying to bring down inflation that remains at a four-decade high.
People see just how bad prices are, that their own wages are less than that they made.
But folks are still heading to the stores. A new Gallup poll finds that Americans think they'll spend an average of $975 on holiday presents this year, over $100 more than last year. But the spending increase is not across the board.
Well, since I have more nieces and nephews than I had before, I definitely think I'll be spending more.
Dollar amount will probably be the same.
I'm probably not going to spend too much,
There's also a gender gap in that Gallup poll on holiday shopping. Women expect to spend $137 more this year, but men are only shelling out an extra $43. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, this is the time of year when many people focus on making New Year's resolutions. Right now, financial worries are playing a big role in the type of resolutions people are making. A new report from Fidelity Investment says 92% of Americans who save are factoring economic issues into their list, with inflation as Americans' top concern as they look ahead into the new year. And even though inflation has come down from its 9.1% peak in July of last year, a lot of Americans say they're dipping into their savings or turning to credit cards to cover their everyday expenses. Up next, Krispy Kreme wants to give you a dozen donuts and laughs inspired by one of the most iconic Christmas movies. Krispy Kreme wants to give you a dozen yums and laughs at the same time. The chain is offering donuts inspired by the Christmas comedy movie Elf. The limited holiday collection includes Buddy Makes Breakfast, Christmas Lights, Buddy Snow Globe, all to celebrate Elf's 20th anniversary. The donuts are part of Krispy Kreme's return of the Day of the Dozen celebration. You get a dozen glazed donuts for $1 when you buy Elf or any other dozen or 16-count mini donuts at regular price. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Retirements and resignations are impacting the GOP's House majority. We'll take a look coming up. The recent resignation announcement by former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy means the GOP's narrow majority is getting smaller. McCarthy's decision to leave Congress at the end of the year comes on top of other retirements and resignations. Fox News senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram has more.
The GOP majority shrivels to just 3 seats, augmented by the recent expulsion of former Republican New York Congressman George Santos.
I still can't believe that we had a vote to expel one of our own members when we knew things like this was coming. I think this is poor planning.
The GOP already struggled to approve many of its legislative priorities with a svelte majority. Things grow worse when Kevin McCarthy's gone in January.
If you're having 3 votes, you're losing your majority by a third at that stage.
We need 218 Republicans. That's what we always whip for. That's what we always get.
It's about the math. The arithmetic wasn't lost on British Foreign Minister David Cameron, who met with House Speaker Mike Johnson. Cameron faced a similar problem when he became Prime Minister.
It's a very tricky issues to deal with. Yes, there are. We're navigating that as best we can. And a 3-vote majority. Just got some announcements today that it's even smaller than that. My first government didn't have a majority at all. I had to have a coalition.
But bipartisan coalitions are nearly impossible these days in Congress.
The Republican extremism is out of control.
extreme MAGA Republicans have shown zero interest in solving problems on behalf of everyday Americans.
House Financial Services Committee Chairman Patrick McHenry retires at the end of his term.
You have meaningful policy making, and then you have the utter depths of stupidity.
There's worry about a congressional brain drain.
Very concerning trajectory for the House, in my mind.
The GOP majority shrinks next year when Bill Johnson of Ohio steps aside, but it's offset by the resignation of New York Democrat Brian Higgins. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
A new report is calling on the federal government to cancel student loan debt for Americans with an income of less than $71,000. The report was published Friday by the University of California Student Loan Law Initiative and the Student Borrower Protection Center. On Tuesday, the researchers plan to tell the Education Department Students Loan Forgiveness Committee to take action to lower many Americans' student debt to income ratios. Reaction to Hunter Biden's legal troubles is pouring in. The president's son is facing new criminal charges in California that accuse him of scheming to avoid paying his taxes at a time when he was spending a lot of money on everything from escorts to luxury cars. The younger Biden has already been facing unrelated firearms charges in Delaware. Fox News correspondent Alexandria Hoff takes a look.
The government alleges that the president's son failed to pay at least $1.4 million in taxes, not because he didn't have the money, but that the money he had, he chose to spend wildly on women, drugs, cars, and clothing, according to the indictment. Special counsel David Weiss filed 9 tax-related charges against the president's son on Thursday, 3 of those felonies. Here's Hunter Biden's lead attorney, Abby Lowell.
He has well stated many times that at the depths of his addiction, something that American families have somebody either in their family or they know, is not behavior that he's proud of, but it doesn't make him into a tax felon.
Hunter Biden now faces up to 17 years in prison. A prior probation-only arrangement fell apart in July after a Delaware judge questioned what Republicans called a sweetheart deal. Here's Fox News legal analyst Professor Jonathan Turley.
When this sweetheart deal was brought before a judge who's one of the real heroes in this scandal, she asked the prosecutors, have you ever seen anything like this? And he said no. And so that's when this all began to fall apart.
These latest tax charges are on top of federal gun charges that Hunter Biden faces out of Delaware. The younger Biden pleaded not guilty to those in October. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer reacted to the California indictment, stating, quote, unless U.S. Attorney Weiss investigates everyone involved in the Biden's fraud schemes and influence peddling, it will be clear President Biden's DOJ is protecting Hunter Biden and the big guy. Hunter Biden does plan to fight the tax charges, taking the case to a Los Angeles jury. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
Still ahead, deadly tornadoes.
Tennessee working to recover after multiple deadly tornadoes touched down overnight. I'm Nicole Valdez in Clarksville, Tennessee. I'll have the latest coming up.
Happy Sunday, everyone. Runners, walkers, this forecast is for you. If you are thinking about going for an early morning run tomorrow, it is going to be a cold one. Temperatures around freezing at the time of 7 o'clock, so I'm not a runner, so I don't know what the best running gear is, but you're definitely going to want to bundle up if you're headed out early on tomorrow morning. Now, we can expect some wind gusts over the next several hours for our friends up north. Yates Center, Iola, through midnight tonight, you could be seeing some gusts up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. They will move throughout the area overnight tonight, and then by 5 o'clock early tomorrow morning, Fort Scott, Nevada can be seeing some gusts up to 20, 25 miles per hour as well. Then through the lunchtime hour, the rest of our area can see those gusts, but 25 miles per hour is really not too bad. Our decorations could blow a little bit from side to side. We could see some things knocked over, but not expecting anything to completely disappear from your front or backyard. For tomorrow, dinner time, winds should be light, and they will stay that way through your Tuesday as well. Now, as far as rain goes, we're still not looking at any, at least for the next couple of days. Tomorrow will be a cool start, as I did mention, but temperatures will warm up nicely to above average this time of year. Average should be in the upper 40s, so we will be a couple degrees above that for us tomorrow. Lunchtime, temperatures in the 50s across the region. Winds should be light at that time. Not many clouds either, so the sunshine will really feel nice on your skin through the dinner time hour. Really not much to worry about. And then from Monday night into Tuesday morning, we could have a couple clouds move into our area, but not going to have any rain with it. I did want to make you a little bit hungry tonight. I had some recipe ideas earlier on in this show, and I have some more for you as well. These are the dessert kind. So you're going for your morning run, you could burn off the calories from anything you're going to be eating this holiday season. Mini cheesecakes, that might be something you want to make this year. Peppermint bark fudge. I know I always love to eat some fudge during Christmas time. And new holiday craze, chocolate pine cones. You might want to look into making that this year as well. Your day tomorrow looks like this, warming up nicely. Once again, temperatures should reach the low to mid 50s across the 4 states tomorrow. Sunny skies, light winds. Overall, not too bad of a day. The winds will be overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning, but cool temperatures in the mid 50s, upper 50s for Thursday. Wednesday and Friday are looking to be your only days that we could see a couple showers. It's definitely not going to be a complete washout, or the rain's not even going to last through the majority of the day. So don't worry about your plans for Wednesday and Friday rather. And then as we look towards the weekend and into next week, we'll have temperatures staying above average in the 50s. Back to
All right, thanks, Katie. Well, parts of Tennessee and Kentucky are in recovery mode today after a series of deadly tornadoes took the lives of at least 6 people and left a trail of devastation in their wake. Fox's weather's Nicole Valdez is in Clarksville.
Severe storms wreaking havoc on Middle Tennessee. Tornadoes touching down overnight, tearing through homes and leaving behind catastrophic damage in and around Nashville. A young child was among those killed in Montgomery County near the Kentucky state line. The town of Clarksville saw some of the worst damage.
It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of resources, and us coming together to get through this difficult time.
First responders getting into those areas today, trying to reach anyone who might still be trapped. One man who rode out the storm in Clarksville describes the chilling moments right before that tornado hit his neighborhood.
I could see a funnel starting to form, and when I saw the transformers blowing, that's when we're like, yeah, we got to go downstairs.
Another woman telling us she ducked for cover in her closet just moments before that storm tore through her home.
Immediately, the whole house shook. I heard a clash. I heard glass breaking. It was a blowout, and I started crying and panicking and praying.
With so much debris on the ground here, residents are being asked to stay home and off the roads. Thousands of people are still without power. Crews are being brought in from neighboring states to help get the lights back on. Emergency shelters have been set up here in Clarksville as well as throughout Davidson County to help those who were displaced by the storms or those who still don't have power. Officials really focusing on getting people inside with temperatures expected to drop below freezing by tonight. In Clarksville, I'm Nicole Valdez, Fox Weather.
Coming up in sports, we have more reaction from the historic day of Pitt State women's basketball. Plus, the Kansas City Chiefs face the Buffalo Bills at home. We'll have the highlights from that game and more up next.
The Kansas City Chiefs are on a bit of a downhill slide right now. The Chiefs have only won 3 of their last 5 games entering this Sunday. Chiefs versus Bills, always a good matchup when you have Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Start things off in the first quarter. Bills strike first, and that's James Cook, who's wide open for the touchdown. Buffalo leads 7-0. Late in the second quarter, Mahomes is going to hand it off to his running back, Jerick McKinnon. Great to see him back. He follows his blockers behind that great wall of Kansas City that pushes him across the goal line. Chiefs get on the board, but still trail 14-7. So we head to the third quarter. Bills lead 17-7. Mahomes takes his time here, and he places it perfectly to Rashee Rice for the touchdown. Chiefs still trail 17-14. So we go to the fourth quarter, and here's a play everyone is talking about. Bills lead 20-17. Mahomes connects to Travis Kelce, and look at this. Kelce makes the catch and throws to Kadarius Toney, who's open, and he's going to go to the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs have a lead. But hold your horses. We have a flag on the field. And folks, you rarely see this call on the offensive side. Kadarius Toney lined up offsides on the line of scrimmage. Brutal missed opportunity there. So now it's 4th down and 15. Mahomes looks downfield and can't connect with anyone. The Bills come to Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs 20-17, your final score.
To take away greatness like that, I mean, for a guy like Travis to make a play like that, and who knows if we win, but as I know as fans, you want to see the guys on the field decide the game. And that's why last week I didn't say anything about the flag that didn't get called on the Marquez. And so, I mean, they're human, man. They make mistakes, but I mean, it's every week we're talking about something, and all I can do is go out there and give everything I have, and I'm proud of the guys because that's what we did, and it was a great football game that ended. Another great football game that just ended like that. It's just tough to swallow.
Meanwhile, another big game happening in the AFC West on Sunday afternoon. Broncos versus Chargers. We start things off in the first quarter. Broncos are going to hand this one off to Javonte Williams, and that's his first NFL touchdown since December of 2021. Denver leads early 7-0. In the third quarter, Broncos lead 10-0. Russell Wilson takes his time, and he's going to launch this one deep to the end zone, and Cortland Sutton is there to make an unbelievable catch. Touchdown Denver. The Broncos now lead 17-0. Then late in the fourth quarter, Russell Wilson will roll out in the bootleg here, and he will find his tight end Adam Troutman for the easy score. Denver goes on to beat the LA Chargers 24-7. Denver is now only one game behind Kansas City for first place in the AFC West. On Saturday, the Pittsburgh State women's basketball team saw a record-breaking performance by the junior guard Grace Pyle, who scored 41 points in Pittsburgh State's win over Central Oklahoma. Pitt State head coach Amanda David goes into depth for what it means for Pyle to break the all-time single-game scoring record.
You know, if you knew all the sweat and tears and blood and hard work that have went into it, you know, Grace definitely deserves a day like this. And so that's why I kind of put her back in, because I'm like, well, 6 minutes, like, it's a lot of time, and records are meant to be set, you know, at whatever level you can really set them. And I just want to congratulate Grace on this moment, and really for her to set and think about how much time she's put into that. And I know how long the record has been set, and, you know, hopefully it stands for a while, because I think that she deserves that.
Well, the Oklahoma State Cowboys have had a rough start to their college basketball season. OSU is only 3-5 to begin the year, but the Pokes travel to Oklahoma City, where they will face the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Oklahoma State playing in the Paycom Center tonight, where the Oklahoma City Thunder play. Cowboys get the win over Tulsa, 72-57. Victory there, and Javon Small led all scorers with 18 points. So at least, is the sky falling for the Chiefs? Maybe. But the good news is that next 4 games against presumably backup quarterbacks.
Okay, well, we'll have to see. But those Broncos, they're coming in hot.
We've been talking about this in the show for a while now. I'm like, they're kind of sneaking up there. A little too close to comfort. But like I said, you know, next 4 games, I think it'll be okay. But we'll just have to keep an eye on that.
We'll have to see. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, I know they were playing a good team today, but... you know, we'll have to see. All right. Thanks, Brock. We'll be right back with more news right after this. A busy time for consumers, and it also happens to be peak season for thieves. Con artists are getting crafty, this time stealing from gift cards without even taking the cards with them. Fox's Brian Webb has the story.
You're looking at a stack of gift cards that are completely worthless. Daniel Hall found out the hard way after buying them for employees at this Scottsdale CVS.
When he opened it, he noticed the numbers were scratched. So he used the barcode to look online to see if it had been loaded or anything, and it had a 0 balance on it.
Daniel isn't alone. Gift card cloning is happening in several states. Con artists copy the magnetic strip, then put the card back on the store's shelf. When the card is activated, the grifter gets a notification and spends the money before the consumer can.
When people buy the gift card, they are actually buying something that is immediately drained when the person buys them at the checkout counter.
A retail theft task force recently arrested 8 people and seized thousands of cloned cards. Attorney General Chris Mays says the Grinches bought guns, TVs, and even Red Bull that they would turn around and sell to strip clubs.
We seized more than 10,000 of these cloned gift cards here in Arizona this week. Obviously, we know that's just the tip of the iceberg.
CVS helped Daniel get his money back, so it'll be another happy holidays where he works, but he worries about others not so lucky.
I had the ability to recover from that, but what about a family that, is living paycheck to paycheck and they come in here and buy a card thinking they're getting someone a Christmas gift and it's not?
Beyonce loses her crown at the box office. We'll see who took her spot up next. Beyonce relinquished her box office crown this weekend, making way for her new #1 movie. David Daniel has early estimates on the top 5 films in theaters.
I just want their wishes to have a chance.
Wish held on to 5th place, adding $5.3 million. $6.2 million kept Trolls Band Together at number 4. Godzilla -1 held strong in 3rd place, taking in $8.3 million.
Lucy Gray won't survive a minute inside that arena.
The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, took 2nd place for the 2nd straight weekend, earning $9.4 million. It's at $136 million domestic.
What exactly are you?
The Boy and the Heron, the first film in 10 years from Japanese animation master Hayao Miyazaki, debuted #1 with $12.8 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with video of Santa swimming with fish in Germany. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for making us part of your night.